awesome. Our next guest was shocked and sickened to find out that conventions were actually 3 days long. He had no idea.
It's true.
He literally didn't know until yesterday. He said, why am I going to Denver to stand around for a day? The shit doesn't start till Saturday. Turns out for a decade, we've been starting this without him, and finally, he gets it. Welcome, first time ever Friday person, Misha Collins! Misha, for starters, welcome to Fridays, baby. Yeah, you don't get a microphone. You don't get a live mic on Fridays. It's part of the thing. There we go. That's good. Welcome to Fridays.
Fridays are fucking great. This is like the best kept secret.
Yeah.
You be a huge skater. Now I see, I normally am here on Saturdays.
Right.
And I see you guys all just like hungover, shadows of your former selves.
Yeah, sad people.
This pall of regret hanging over each and every one of you.
So many bad choices.
Especially you two.
Yeah. I thought you were only talking about us.
How did karaoke go? Great. I dressed up as a Dr. Seuss character and let Richard pretend to butt fuck me.
By the way, that's a spot on, Matt. No one ever takes me. Do me a favor. Let's keep Friday safe. Don't tell Jared and Jensen they're fun, please. In honor of your upcoming birthday celebration, I know you're having a the band pitched in and didn't do anything specifically for you. However, you do get a free shirt. It has Mike Borja as John Denver in it. So if you're not high, you'll feel like you are when you stare at this very confusing image of Mike Borja as John Denver. Happy birthday, Reese.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And hold on, before we leave, I was told I have to bring this out. I don't know what this is, but I was told to bring it out.
Well, this portion of the performance is making me nervous.
Yeah. No, it has nothing to do with me. I don't know what this is. So they said this is going to come out when Misha comes out here. So there it is. I didn't put the thing in the box. I didn't have to do it in the box.
There's no thing in the box.
I couldn't fit in there.
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Norton, a little try it on music.
But how am I supposed to?
Dude, I don't know. It's not my thing. I'm not the one who picked your birthday.
This is if there were any moments that flashed by during the panel where I felt confident, I could remember that I'm wearing this and it would be wiped away.
Joining on the crowd. He's shaping on the flowers. Ladies and gentlemen, your highness, Misha Collins. Collins, the queen of Collins.
They smell nice. Thank you very much. I'm just going to put them right here now.
All right, well, I've wasted so much time of these fine people who really are here for two reasons and two reasons only. I don't know if you know this, but this whole con, it came to fruition this morning. We figured it out. There are three key components to this convention. Three very key components. They're excited because they know the components. They all are important in equal measure.
Yes, they are.
You, Misha, Rob's butthole, and you. I'll let you people explain it to him.
as he was passing by me, and just looked at me with an almost teary-eyed expression and said, "I majored in theater." Thank you guys for this very much. I needed one of those. So I have a little bit of a family connection to this fair city. My father was born here. My grandparents spent their lives here. This is the first city that I ever flew to go visit my grandparents. What?
Back then.
Please don't talk to me. Speaking of which, we were just taking photos, and I'm going to just give you guys like a tip on socialization. When you greet someone, try not to say, "You look so tired." I just got that in a photo, and while it's true, it's just a nicety not to say it. I had a little. Our kids come into our bed every night as early as they possibly can, usually right around when we're going to bed. And so we go through this whole charade of putting them to bed, reading them stories in their bed, which is a great bed, very nice mattress. And then as soon as we're drifting off, one of them comes in crying, and then about a half an hour later, just to interrupt, our REM cycle a little bit more, the other one comes in. And they're both at a phase of maturity where they're not wearing night diapers anymore. And they steadfastly refuse to wear them, even though they urinate on us every night. In fact, I got in a fight with Mason, who wants to be like her big brother, last week, and I was like, "Mason, just you peed in my bed every night for the last week. I can't do it anymore. People are telling me I look tired." And so finally she capitulated and put it on, and then later that night she came into bed and peed on me again. I found her diaper just shredded up in her room, like it was an act of protest. Like it was a fur coat and she was a PETA protester. So I think it was Thursday night? No, or Wednesday night? Recently. Miles, the 7-year-old next door, said he wanted to come over for a slumber party. It was his first slumber. He was very nervous, kind of excited. The kids were excited. They all decided to sleep in bed together, and I thought this could be a game changer because they're going to want to stay with Miles. And so they all went to sleep, and Miles, as I was reading them stories, Miles told me, I'm a little bit scared. I said, "It's okay, Miles. You have your friends here, and this cozy bed. It's going to be great." He said, Okay. I'm also a little excited, he said. Anyway, around midnight, Miles comes in. And he said, "Hey guys, I'm a little bit scared." And I said, Miles, I don't know what to do. I can call your dad, or you can cuddle up with us. And he's like, "Oh, okay, great." And he jumped in the bed. And then Mason and West sensed the emptiness in their bed, and so they came and joined. And then they both peed in the bed. And so I feel compelled when someone says, "You look a little tired," to tell you what's going on in my life. I'm sorry for that tired. Oh, you're a really peppy person. Your baby is 30 and still peeing on you?
It's time for questions.
think I'm having a panic attack. All right, so I want to say one more thing before we go to questions, which is that you guys have, in Colorado, you have Amendment Y on the ballot in 2018 in the midterm elections. It's very importantly very, very, very boring to talk about. It's about setting up an independent, bipartisan commission to draw congressional districts. So that gerrymandering isn't co-opted by one party or the other. And there's no way to make this issue sound cool or exciting, but it's super important, and you guys could sort of be a leader for other states and set an example by voting yes on this amendment. Why? It's my little plug. It's bipartisan. Anybody can do it, and feel good about yourself. Do we have other things to talk about?
Sure.
You know, I love Trump. I don't know what your I guess I have one more thing that I'll tell you. So my grandmother who lived in Denver, I think she had like a very kind of Colorado style of, maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed like it, of child rearing, which was that she was a very short, she was only 5'2", but kind of like stocky, and she wore this very large purse that kept everything in it that she would ever need. It was like, basically like a plumber's toolbox, but in this red leathery purse that she wore around her shoulder. And any time that she felt like we were getting out of line or looked like we might be going in the direction of getting out of line, she'd go, boom, and whack it with us, whack us with it. So that's another thing that I remember fondly about Denver. All right, enough about me. Let's talk about you. Hi, how are you?
Hi again, actually.
Hi again. Oh yeah, we talked earlier.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, because I didn't earlier, how does being in the spotlight all the time, because you're...
On stage, and there's spotlights on me?
And you have a large following. How does that affect your normal life?
Well, in this particular instance, it makes it so I can't see anybody's faces. So I just hear disembodied voices speaking to me all the time. How does being in the spotlight affect me? I guess I will tell you one thing. I was at the airport yesterday, and I found myself sitting, waiting for my plane, very crowded waiting area, and I had this sort of nagging sensation in my nostril. It was a large booger, and I just started to just dig in there, and it was one that I kept driving it further up into my brain, and I couldn't get it back out, and I suddenly had this moment like, shit, somebody could be taking a video. So I guess it does cause me to check myself a little bit more than I would otherwise. So yeah, it does. It cramps my style, I would say. Are there 2 lines?
Yes.
Okay. Hi.
You're close. Back a little bit. Right here. I'm waving at you.
Nope, that's
I feel
fine.
like I'm getting direction. Am I not pointing my body at you? What is so... You're waving like, over here, over here.
Yeah, that's a question line right here.
This is not a question line?
This is a question line. There's 2.
I can't tell where the fucking voice is coming from.
It's me.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm looking at you. That's why this is so confusing. I'm saying, yes, talk to me, and you're like, well, this is...
Yeah, no, it's me.
Okay, thank you.
So my question is, I know when you first started the show, you imagined you'd only have to do the voice for maybe a couple seasons at most. And at this point, I was wondering if it comes easier or if you're just permanently damaged.
think it does come easier now, my voice. So when I joined Supernatural, the first script said I was a disembodied ethereal being. I was an angel, but I didn't have a human vessel, and so I was trying to communicate with Dean, but I didn't know how to do it, and when I did, it would just like explode windows and blow up television sets. So I thought, oh well, he probably has like a deep and commanding voice, and so I made my voice really deep and gravelly. Kind of like textured in this feigned masculinity. And so real. And then it turned out, oh shit, this character isn't just a 3-episode arc. It's the next dozen years of my life. That's one way to look at it, or you could have amounted to something. So at one point, it was season 5, I went to the doctors. I don't know if I told this story. I went to the doctors, and my throat really hurts, and it's like I took antibiotics, it's not going away, I don't know what it is. And then I figured out, it's my fucking voice. So yeah, no, I would have made different choices. Had I known the arc of the character, it wouldn't have been, hello, Dean. It would have been, hey, Dean. But hindsight is 20/20, so. Thank you. Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my God, that's hilarious. She's wearing wings and just poked somebody's eyes out.
Sorry, I'm really nervous right now.
That's okay. It's okay to be nervous. That's normal.
First of all, happy birthday.
Yeah, you actually almost poked my eyes out too. Thank you.
Okay, so my question is, from like season 4 when you first entered, how have you and your character changed throughout the past 10 years?
I would say that the character's, over time, the character's vessel has deteriorated quite a bit. It's a lot more tired. So when I first, this is unusual. We don't usually get so many questions about the show. This is exciting. When I first started, the character was like he was a soldier of God. He was a warrior, and he was always talking about his battalion, and he was very fierce and very threatening and very commanding. And then over time, and I think this often happens with long-running characters on shows, the writers started to write the character toward what I did well or convincingly. And so the character morphed into being this socially awkward nerd. with poor people skills. Which really is not how we started at all. The other thing that I love about the canon on the show is that I was the first angel. Okay? So that means that I sort of get to establish certain ground rules for how angels are on the show. And I created this character that was out of place, a fish out of water, very, very nerdy, didn't understand any kind of human emotion whatsoever. And then all of the subsequent angels came on the show and they just acted like normal people. And so suddenly I was just the damaged angel. I was establishing how angels behave. Anyway, I feel like I'm just getting angry today for some reason.
You look
What?
scared.
Oh, thanks, that helps. It's your turn. Thank you. Be careful, by the way, on the way out. I'm going to this really crowded event. There's going to be tons of people around all over the place. They don't know where they're going, and neither do I. So what I'll do is I'll wear this big thing on my back that says,
Hello.
hi.
I didn't really think I had a snowflake's chance in hell of asking a question, so I'm just going to ask the first thing that popped into my head standing in line here.
Great.
What is your favorite flavor of jam?
Really good question. I like to make preserves and jams. But my mother, we used to have this family tradition in Western Mass of going strawberry picking in early July, late June, early July, and it was a combination of like getting a lot of strawberries to put away for the winter to make preserves, and an opportunity to eat as much as we possibly could. So we would just like gorge until we felt like vomiting as we were picking berries. But I guess strawberry, there's something like sentimental childhood affinity for strawberries in jams. Strawberries just the best? So it's just an objective fact. Oh,
Okay, strawberries.
great.
Yep, all the strawberries.
Now all the raspberry people are feeling disadvantaged.
They don't matter.
This is how grape jelly sucks. What the fuck did you say? Okay. Hi.
Hi, Misha. First off, I would like to say welcome to the Friday family.
Thank you. Is this like a secret sort of culty cabal?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is there hazing and initiation that goes into this?
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's mainly saying that Friday people are better than Sunday people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I see a brawl coming.
It's a thing. So anyways, my question is actually not about Supernatural, but more about the show you did with Wes and later Mason, Cooking Fast and Fresh with Wes. And I myself have considered trying to make one of those meals, so I wanted to know which of those meals would you think I would be least likely to vomit, and which one would you say I could actually cook and eat?
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't recommend actually trying to eat any of them. We did this one, which was pasta with jam sauce for Thanksgiving.
That's the one I want to try.
And I did this scavenger hunt, and which just ended-ish. And I think it was 3 years ago, an item in the scavenger hunt was to prepare and get a real food critic to review pasta with jam sauce. And sometimes when I'm feeling sad and like I've never done anything important with my life, I thumb through these, and it really buoys me up. It's incredible because they're like bona fide food critics, you know, from the Seattle Times and the New York Times, and they're writing things like, hate is not strong enough a word. But yeah. I don't know what else to say.
I'm gonna try it anyways.
All right, thanks, bye.
Thanks, Misha.
Hi, my name is Jessie. I didn't expect to get called up either. So
Hi, Jesse. So there's a lot of people who are up here and have nothing to say, it sounds like.
I have a lot of things that I want to say, but only a short amount of time to say any of it. So I have to
Okay.
say something.
All right, well, let's then use up that time with a lengthy preamble.
Okay. So my question has to do with the fact that I know you had issues with anxiety, you've been public about it. So I have issues with anxiety. It's not necessarily social anxiety as it is sometimes, I have 2 boys. So sometimes the baby's crying and then my 4-year-old wants something. So my question to you is, how do you deal with that to make yourself kind of center and calm down whenever you find yourself in that kind of situation, if you find yourself in that situation?
I mean, I guess, anxiety is not like my biggest problem. But it is something, I don't know, I guess I meditate. That seems to help. Having children obviously doesn't help anything. But yeah, I mean, I guess that would be the only thing that I can point to that's really effective, other than drugs. This will be my last panel. Oh, it's Colorado, right? You guys are all stoned. What am I talking about? Just by show of hands, how many of you are baked out of your brains right now? There are only 2 honest people in this room.
All right.
I do these weird things, these like 10-day silent meditation retreats sometimes, which I suppose, now I'm saying it, just the thought of that probably induces anxiety. But I find those to be really helpful. But I'm really not an expert in this arena. I thought I was going to be really nervous getting up on stage the first time. And then I realized that you guys will laugh at anything and it's fine.
That's true. True.
Because we love you.
So I'll just get naked. But you know, it's kind of an interesting thing. I mean, one of the things that I've talked to a lot, I think that there are a lot of people in this community, in this fandom, who I think this fandom is full of like smart nerds. And smart nerds are people who I think have a tendency as a cohort to have issues like anxiety or I don't know, other issues. That was articulate. But one thing that I have loved about doing Gish is it's getting people out of their comfort zones. And I guess I brought up coming on the stage as an example of that. Like I was like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. But then once you conquer a fear, sometimes they're like dominoes and they can start to fall a little bit, I think. And it starts to feel like, all right, I don't have to be as anxious in this situation. And you know, if your kids like start making noise or whatever, you could always get like a soundproof closet that you can put them in. And you'll instantly feel at peace. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi, Misha. My name is Anahid.
Anahid?
Anahid, yes.
Anahid.
Yes,
I like that.
it's Armenian. I just want to let you know you have been my favorite character since I laid eyes on you. Hold on, let me calm down. My question to you is, you came out on the stage with like a socially active announcement about our amendment here in Colorado, and I know you're very socially and politically active on your Twitter at least, and like in life, and I wanted to ask you if you've ever considered running for public office.
I'm not going to answer that question because it'll reveal how full of myself I am. There was a long period in my earlier life where I thought I was going to go into politics, and like that was the course that I was charting for myself. So I would literally make sure that nobody ever took any compromising photos of me. I was like, no, I know that one day, this will come back to bite me. I wasn't in a lot of compromising situations, but I just made sure that they weren't documented. And then I entered in the White House, and I didn't really love what I saw. I thought it was going to be this amazing collection of the best and the brightest minds in America under one roof, and there was a lot of, I was misguided about that. There was a lot of sort of nepotism and naysayers and people who were just like jockeying to get close to the president, and I really didn't like it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do something else. Something that has, real integrity. So I'll go to Hollywood. I don't know where I was going with this.
Running for office.
Oh, but then, and then I was like, well, and then nobody would ever elect anybody named Misha anyway, so it's not going to happen. And then we got Barack Hussein, and I was like, well, all right, maybe there is a chance. And then I was like, well, nobody's ever going to elect anybody to, public office. If her wife wrote a book on threesomes, and then Trump is like, a philandering prick. And I was like, maybe there is hope yet. Anyway, no, but I actually, I am relishing at the moment, I'm relishing being able to be politically engaged and being a part of a process that I think is really important. I get to, because the social media thing is so bizarre, but people will like call me up who are like running for governor, and they'll be like, hey, can you help out on something? And it's really exciting to be a part of that, and it's totally bizarre to me. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like I'm people are sucking up to me who are running for high office because I'm on a show on the CW. It's really a backwards world right now, but I'm totally happy to capitalize on it. And I feel like it's a moral imperative at this moment to use whatever platform you have, no matter how small or how big, to try to affect some sort of change, because I think that if you don't, you're just sort of pissing the world goodbye. So I am sort of, as you said, vocal or active, but I also don't really feel like I have a choice.
Have you yourself ever had a paranormal experience or experienced something strange or out of the ordinary?
Ooh. You know what? I mean, I think short of like the sort of staple paranormal creatures that invade our world, like the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus, I haven't had a whole lot. Yeah. Santa Claus we had an interesting relationship when I was a child with Santa Claus, because my grandfather he had this entrepreneurial spirit, which I loved. And he would always say, guys, Santa Claus is coming. We know that. We also know that he happens to be carrying with him all of the presents for all of the boys and girls in the world. And he had a bear trap. So every Christmas, we would, in front of the fireplace, set a bear trap and put milk and cookies in it. And then every Christmas morning we'd run down to see if we had gotten him, and there would always be like a tuft of velvety red fabric stuck in the closed jaws of the bear trap.
I don't know what you would have done if you would have found a man. That would have been a whole other like complicated level.
Yeah, right. Like we'd have to figure out, like, first of all, because the bear trap wouldn't kill him, obviously. He would just be badly injured. So we collectively have to figure out how to kill him and then dispose of the body. But we would be spurred on knowing that at the end of this we'd get all those presents. It was ultimately, I think, an important lesson for a grandfather to be teaching. Oh, that's so nice, I can see it. Thank you for asking. Hi.
Have you had a good prank pulled on you, or you pull a good one on one of the cast members?
A prank? On the set of Supernatural?
It's a real good
Not
one
that I can think of. I was directing, thank you for giving me an idea. I was directing, and I was very nervous because I knew that Jared and Jensen were planning to lend a different kind of support to my experience. They had gotten very proactive, and when I was not on set, they had a legal pad and a pen, and they brainstormed with the crew on things that they could do to me while I was directing. They tried to get into my apartment. They got the keys to my car and put fish under the seats. They got a hold of my director's script, which had all the notes in it, and shredded it. Guys, this is part of the, it's part of the process. We have these director's chairs, which are kind of a little bit higher than this, but they have canvas, they fold up, and they would undo the canvas and then set it on there loosely. So I'd like go and I'd look at the monitor, and then fall flat on my ass. That happened to me about 3 times. And eventually, talking about anxiety, like eventually I was just like on edge all the time, I was super nervous. And we were doing this one scene, and Jared kept forgetting his lines. And Jared's he's been doing it for so long, he doesn't forget his lines. But I was like, all right, I was shouting over the wall. So we were in the studio on set, and I was looking at the monitors, but I wasn't in the room with him, but I was shouting over the wall. That's okay, just keep rolling, we're gonna go again. And went again, and screwed up again. And then went again, screwed up again. I was like, all right, I think maybe he just needs a break or something. Maybe he's super drunk. I don't know what's going on. So I yelled cut, and I went into set. There's a door to go into set. And I went into set to talk to him. I opened the door, and as I did, he pied me in the face. But he really he was so excited. And he put his hips into it. And it hit me with like this incredible force. And I was just like, trying to get through the day at this point. And Jensen, as he sometimes wanted to do, was the gentleman in this situation, and he brought me a fresh t-shirt out of his trailer, because I was now just covered in sticky goo. And I said thank you, and wiped my face. We did another take, stepped out of the door of the studio, and then Jensen pied me. Yes. Hi. I don't want to talk about these traumas anymore.
So, first I just want to say thank you very much for coming out here. I appreciate the time that it takes for you to make a trip to these conferences, conventions, and...
I think we should call it a conference. It's a more academic era.
Well, it's fine. I just...
Or a symposium. Thank you. Where are you coming from?
I'm Oklahoma City.
Woo! Oh, okay. You drove with him. Yeah. You flew, okay.
I'm having a small brownout because I'm so nervous. It's really hot all of a sudden.
Somebody stand close to her just in case she goes over.
So my question,
Okay. Don't bother getting up though.
Okay, so my question.
Just make sure you fall to your right, because he's not going to get up for you.
Can I go now?
I'm sorry. I'm making it worse, aren't I?
It's fine, yeah.
Okay. You were saying.
Yes.
Brown out. What is that? I've only heard that as applied to the power grid. You're not like. You're not shooting yourself, are you? Sir, when she falls, grab for the shoulders, I would suggest.
Poor Melissa.
I'm sorry, you were saying.
Yes. So what would you like your legacy to be?
On my headstone, Misha Collins, he wasn't always an asshole. Thanks.
Okay, so I have a particular affinity for Dean and Cass's relationship. I'm wondering if there's ever been a script that you got that had a scene between Dean and Cass that you looked at and were like, ooh, the fans are gonna love this.
I mean, so the scripts over time have increasingly just been like, all right, we know what's going on. So the text will say things like, Dean and Cass, I fuck. Like, it was this lengthy period. I think I was like the first one to get up and like talk, like break the ice and talk about this taboo subject of the homoerotic subtext in Supernatural, and half the room was like, oh, I can't believe he spoke of that. I'm gonna go home and delete my profile. And then there was a period of time when it was verboten. We weren't allowed to talk about it. This is such a dirty secret. And now, I mean, like we did that episode, the 100th episode, was it? Where Dean and Cass are kind of like actually in love or whatever. Two girls in love, but whatever.
Yeah.
200. Okay, 100, 200, whatever. I'm such a nerd. I think it's kind of, I like the fact that the fandom can. What, did you get that? What's that?
Spam.
How do you know it's spam? Could have been an important call. Do you want me to answer it? So anyway, I like the fact that in this fandom it's now like not a taboo subject and people can discuss it and ruminate and fight about it, but openly. I think that's great, and I think it's great that the writers can talk about it and it's no longer this weird thing. Even though, of course, it is super weird. Even though you are perverts. That's actually a badge of honor. Yeah, it's not something, by the way, that I expected to come into. Like, when I joined the show, I didn't know that I would be, like, coming across an essay about my character filleting another character. And then there's the real, what is it called?
Real person fiction.
What?
Real person fiction.
Real person fiction. So now, like, there's stuff written about me and Jensen. And, oh yeah, look it up. It's great. You'll love it. And then Jensen has this. Like, Jensen will buy like fancy shirts to wear to conventions. But then he has this thing like fans have made fun of him for wearing the same thing at multiple conventions. So he's like, I'm not going to wear the same shirt twice at conventions. So we're the same size, and neither of us like the waist stuff. So he's like, hey dude, I can't wear these anymore. Do you want to wear them? So I got like a bunch of Jensen's hand-me-down shirts. And then I come to conventions wearing Jensen's hand-me-down shirts. And all the fans are like, I knew it. Anyway, thanks. Yeah, hi.
I'm Ronnie, and I wanted to ask.
Hi, Ronnie.
What was your reaction when you first got cast as Castiel?
I mean, I knew about Supernatural because it had been on for 3 years at that point, and I had seen posters of the show on the sides of bus stalls. With these two, underwear model guys going like. So I didn't think it was going to be like a big deal or anything, but I knew what the show was about. Like. Thanks, that was deep. Hi.
Hi. So my question is, you said recently you'd be interested in playing more of human cast, or you would have liked to play it longer.
Yes.
So I'm wondering what you would have liked to explore as cast, or have cast explore.
Well, I just thought that could be, I thought it could be cool to really delve into like casts having all of the human experiences, like falling in love, or or learning to wipe properly, or whatever. That could have been a standalone episode right there.
Stoner cast.
Stone cast. Well, we kind of actually did have that. Remember, let's all go get washed up for the orgy? Kate. Thank you. Hi.
Hello. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
If you could be any other character from Supernatural other than Castiel, who would it be and why?
I would probably choose to be the car because Dean would drive me all day. By the way, just so you know, I'm going to get in so much trouble online for this panel.
Yep.
But I'm glad that you mentioned my birthday, because I'm just going to tell you one other thing. I'm just working in these shameless clubs today. I'm going to be, maybe later today, posting something online where I'm asking people to do something for my birthday, which is to pledge to vote in the upcoming election. So you guys can just do that it would mean so much. It would make my birthday so much better. It makes me so happy. All right, thanks. Hi.
Hi.
I'm really trying to get through questions quickly here, I noticed. It's very efficient. What? Why do they, what? Why would you say that when someone walks on? You're like, yay, Steven. Hey guys!
By the way, you should be excited. Steven walks on. Sounds an awful lot like your creepy hand massage voice. I thought you were down your creepy hand massage voice road.
Richard was directing recently and you met my character. You met my warm, wet mouth massage character.
It's a genius.
And you basically made me do it for a week straight.
It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And this is what's weird. I think of Misha as an outgoing, funny person, and he's been a network television star on 7 years now, 8 years. How long have you been a regular on that show? Doesn't matter. Point is, he's on a show. He's been on Vampire Diaries since, I remember, it's been a good run. It's been a good run. And he starts doing this character that I won't insult you by doing, but it's super funny. And he's doing it on set, and suddenly a crowd gathers, and the camera crew gathers around, and now everybody has stopped to watch him do this bit. To great laughter. It's a huge hit. It's hilarious. And none of that surprised me. It was afterwards, after Misha finished the day's work, later on the crew goes, "We've never heard him speak. We didn't know he was funny." He comes on set and he's very quiet.
I have this character that somehow cropped up one day at home, and it's a masseuse, okay?
Wow, you look really stressed right now. Oh, that's nice. You like that, right? Yeah, I can see in your eye you get a little bit stressed out when you come up on stage. I can keep talking when I give a massage. But I also see a little bit of nervousness. I can tell you're worried, whoa, what are you going to charge me for this? But don't worry, this is part of the package. Creation pay for this.
So I did this character, and the kids liked it at first, and then grew to hate it. And Wes would start hitting my hand, and at one point he grabbed a spatula and practically sliced my hand off with it. And part of the frustration was that this character was always talking about the baby and the dad, the baby and the dad.
Oh, yeah, you really love the baby and my dad.
And the kids would say, well, can we meet him?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, right now. Dad? Daddy? Dad? Let me go check. Hold on, I'll be back in 5 minutes, and I'm not going to charge you for this break. So bad news, Daddy's out right now. He had to go get his hernia operation checked on.
And they never got to meet the dad. But then Wes got so angry that I just stopped cold turkey. And then a few months went by, we went grocery shopping, got into the van, and all of a sudden,
hey guys, everybody buckled up?
And Wes was immediately like, I want to meet the dad. And I said,
okay, yeah, no problem. He's in the car right now. Hold on a second. Dad? Billy? Dad? Oh, holy smoke, wait a second. He wrote a note that said, just took the baby out for a walk. See you later.
And I turn around with my hand and hear uncontrollable sobbing from my 7-year-old, who I just broken. And so I was like, oh my God.
Oh, wait, hold on a sec. On the other side, it said, I'll be back as soon as you get home. Can't wait to meet the kids.
What was the dad like?
Well, the dad, actually, I had no idea what the dad was going to be like.
It was Christopher Walken played the dad.
They only met him once, and I don't remember what he sounded like, but he was Eastern European, and he was blind drunk. He was actually a crushing disappointment, but it satisfied something in the kids that they finally got. Anyway,
I'll tell you, it's my favorite part of that character, and the character's just side-splitting funny, is that you get halfway through, you're doing the weird massage bit, and you're talking while you're doing it. That was sort of a feat.
Yeah.
But then you get to immediately go to the cost of the massage. I know you think this costs a lot. Oh, it's so funny. It's so bizarre. It is so fantastic. But not nearly as fantastic as the fact that you're celebrating a birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in singing happy birthday to you, Mr. Misha Collins. Happy birthday to you. Misha Collins. Happy birthday to Misha. Happy birthday to Come on, Mish, you can do it. Even at this high altitude, you can do it. Come on, man, we're counting on you. Oh, I saw the pressure. Look, he's going for the full boat. He wants all the candles lit before he does this. Misha Collins! Wow, Borja. Ouch.
Yep. It's
You got a custom made shirt for Misha Collins, and
Yep. There it is.
there goes your fan club membership out the window. Speaking about the window, don't climb over each other and try to get out the window as you stampede to the exit. Robbie, what happens now?
Now we're going to be signing some autographs.
Autographs.
And then you're going to take a little breather. And
Breather.
Then come back for the karaoke.
There we go. Fantastic Friday showing, people.
Really excellent. Good job, everybody.
Remember, it's about Misha. It's about the monkey hole. And it's about you.
Good night for now. See you a little later.